Good morning, everybody. So in today's Titanic case study, we have my group, and I would like to present Daisy, Mary, Selden, and myself. With that, we're going to be transitioning into our overview. We're going to kind of I'll give you guys a rundown of what exactly we're going to be talking about and like what happened. With that being said, on April 15, 1912, the sink of the Titanic was caused. As we know, the Titanic was one of the most luxurious and the biggest ever built. This ship was actually in the North Atlantic and it was hit by an iceberg. At the time, there was an insufficient amount of lifeboats, which caused 1,500 crew members and passengers were killed at the time during the tragedy.
So what type of passenger would be most likely versus least likely to survive? So starting off with the one that is most likely, we found that both first and second class children, male and female, were the most likely to survive, as 100% of this population survived. Following them, out of all passengers on board, 21% were female, and of this, 73% of all the females on board survived, compared to the 21% of all males on board who survived. And moving on to the type of passenger that is least likely to survive, we found this to be the adult crew member, as the crew makes up 40% of all people on board. And of this 40%, 97% was comprised of males, and of this, 76% of those male crew members did not survive the ship sinking. Now, one could also argue that looking at other population statistics, the second class males, 91% did not survive, and third class males, 84% didn't survive, which is again higher than the 76. But whenever you look at it, second class males only make up 8%, and third class males only make up 21%. So there's more weight being carried with the magnitude of deaths occurring in the crew as opposed to third and second class, even though the percentages are higher.
Here we created a fishbone diagram of the Titanic accident that addresses why so many people died on the ship. One of the issues we addressed is Mother Nature. Here we looked at the ways the weather and the water conditions affected the ship. So first off, it was a perfectly still and calm night with no waves in the ocean. And this was an issue because waves were a way for the crew to detect icebergs in the distance. And additionally, it was a moonless night, making it very dark and again, making it harder for the crew to see things in the distance. And then another issue with Mother Nature's was that after the crash, the freezing water conditions that were below 40 degrees caused many of the people who ended up in the water to die of exposure to the freezing water. And so another aspect we looked into was materials, where we found there was an insufficient amount of lifeboats on the ship. So the Titanic only carried 20 lifeboats, and most of them were located on the top of the ship, and that is where the first class was located. And so this made it very difficult for members of the third class to reach them, but also because the crew did not open many of the gates for third class passengers to exit. So the third issue we found was with management. And so crew provided very poor instructions, and as well provided a variability in who got on the boats. Some crew members allowed only women and children, and others allowed men, depending on how reputable their yachting club was, while some took people based on like a first come, first served basis. Additionally, many of the boats only carried half of their maximum capacity. Another issue we found with management fell onto the captain. So Captain Smith really wanted to achieve the Blue Ribbon Award, which was a metaphoric rank awarded to the ship that crossed the Atlantic at the fastest average speed. So therefore, Captain Smith refused to reduce his speed for the voyage, wanting to win this award.
So following with what Mary presented, I'm going to talk about the three last main causes that we think that they led to the huge number of deaths on Titanic. So first one is unexpected event. There was a British coal strike, which was the first national strike by miners aiming to secure the minimum wage, which delayed the Titanic from departing for 2 weeks. And the delay caused two main problems for Titanic. First is poor Titanic crossing at a time when the ice flow in the mid-Atlantic were known to be the worst. Second is increase the pressure for a quick voyage across the Atlantic. And moving on, we have people are the main cause of mostly a lot of death on Titanic. First one, we talk about officers. every officer in charge of a lifeboat had their own procedure and approach for loading and launching the lifeboat. Because of they have a different procedure, so which cause a lot of confusion for passenger. And some of them allow women and children on the lifeboat. Some of them allow only men. Some of them first come first serve. So with that being said, those different instructions caused a lot of confusion for passenger and really didn't really calm down and help the passenger during the emergency. And following with that, there is a communication exchange of the Titanic and the ship nearby, which known for the WS Californian. So there's a Californian operator had gone off duty, and the remainder operator of the ship sent a message to Titanic and saying that, oh, there's the presence of the ice in front of you. But the Titanic operator, Jack Phillips, who was busy with a lot of high volume work, so he just immediately replied to the Californian one is shut up, I'm busy. So the Californian ship operator shut down the set and went to bed. So with that being said, the Titanic operator missed the warnings of the iceberg, which caused the sad event after that. And for the next cause, I'm gonna talk about the misunderstanding. So first, talking about distress rocket. After Titanic struck in the iceberg, the crew began sending a distress signal. The rocket signal indicated that the Titanic was in a very immediate need of assistance. The nearby ship, the Californian one, saw the distress rocket but did not respond promptly because they believed it was for celebrating or it was non-distress signal. And the passenger, as you know, didn't receive an immediate assistance, so that's why there was about 1,500 people die on this sad event. And the last one on this misunderstanding cause I want to talk about is binocular. So in reality, there were a binocular on board, but they had been misplaced. The crew has forgot the key in Queenstown and they cannot access to the binocular. So that's why the lookout had to really rely on their naked eyes. And that's why with their own eyes, there is a lot of wrong calculation for the distance between the ship to the iceberg. And with that being said, I hope that 6 of the causes that I may represented have contributed to the conclusion about why so many people died on this event. Thank you so much for listening, watching our video clip about Titanic case study. If you have any question, please let us know. Otherwise, we would love to hear any feedback from you. Thank you.